depending on how this the stream started, because I don't know how the delay is. The focus of this stream will be mostly focused on answering questions that my Discord members are owed. So I'm going to go ahead and not start with Bitcoin, but I'm going to talk about altcoins today. And I thought I would just stream this live. And usually on Discord for other folks, folks can come on and ask questions with their microphone, which is most of the questions. But folks who cannot make the live chats, they will fill up an area, essentially a chat room full of questions. And then I timestamp it for the members so they can watch it on their own time. So that's what we're here to do, and I will be timestamping these for you. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get to the first question. I will probably cover Bitcoin last, just because I don't know how long this is going to take. And let's get going. Wow, they pounded me with questions. All right, can I look at... Here's the first one. All right, standard bull targets. Okay, so standard is an altcoin that my community has been looking at. I would call standard more of a moonshot coin as opposed to a super serious contender. However, it could end up giving pretty solid ROI. What is Bitcoin doing? Okay, nothing. So we'll go to standard. It is a small cap altcoin offered on only a few exchanges, smaller exchanges to my memory. And we got right here. I'll take off my fancy EMAs and we will just work with structure here. So this does look like a buy point as long as Bitcoin's rally continues. This is a higher low to the previous, I guess, weekly low. I guess these are all daily higher highs and higher lows. This would be more of a monthly higher low over here. And the tricky part about this is Bitcoin might be close to a pullback that might be as deep as 25 to maybe even 50%. However, that might not happen until after 120K is hit or 140K is hit. Those are the next two levels that Bitcoin would want to pop up to. And again, I can show you those. I will timestamp that at the end and show you why those are my targets. And I promise you, new viewers, you will look at those charts and be like, oh, that makes perfect sense. But I think Bitcoin could be overheated. And so if that is what happens, if the rally does not continue much beyond 110K, then this won't get much of a pop. And then Bitcoin will drag this down. So if you are not already in this coin, it is going to be trickier to enter. Because if Bitcoin is done with its rally, then you're going to enter. It's not going to go anywhere. Then it's going to go down and probably create new lows past 1.1 cents, which is this area here. 1.2 cents. And so if you're going to enter, you need to understand that is the risk. Bitcoin is the risk. Structurally, this looks great. If this were not dependent on Bitcoin, I'd say, hey, this is a great time to try to get exposed to it or gain more exposure. Anyway, that is the current posturing. Bull targets was the question. I've been asked this question before, which is why this line over here is there. That is the proposed time for the end of the 4-year cycle. It might actually be a little too early. That's the early November. Let's put it into mid or late November, something like this. And this is with the assumption there is going to be a 4-year cycle. I will, I will go ahead and honor that super chat here in a bit. Right after this, though. I guess I'll do that next. But you're also already a paying member, so you might be going overboard there, but I do appreciate it. I think Z's a part of my my premium tier, called the exclusive tier on YouTube, where he gets all of it, or she, I don't know his gender, but Z gets all of his or her questions answered twice a week, like clockwork, in that premier tier. So If price were to come up to this red line here, which is a pretty good spot, this would be a lower high to here because, and the reason why this makes sense, is because this fell down 99.9%. Look, 99.8. So therefore, you're probably not going to get a higher high. And so the way this happens is, in a bear market, the founders or the company or whoever is likely printing tokens and selling them to the market. That is among the only ways you can go down 99.9%. And when that happens, once you get to this point, let's say price rises up to here, and look left. The market cap of this back here when it was there first, November 11th, is going to be a fraction of what the market cap is once price gets back to the same level because coins were printed. And it's harder to get to this level. And once it is to this level, it's harder to go up to here because the coin requires that much more money to push it. Does that make sense? So really, and I know this because I've looked at this coin and I've confirmed that they were inflating the tokens. So you're not going to get a higher high in price on this. Too many tokens were printed to keep them alive during the bear market so they could pay their bills and whatnot. You're looking for a lower high. So what you're trying to do is you could take this wick here and make roughly a 45-degree angle just for, not for actual analysis, but for a visual guide. That would be a normal lower high target, just like maybe even slightly lower. So if I did this and I connected from here to here, it might scrape both of them at the same angle. So watch how lower highs work. Nope, a little bit too not aggressive enough. So this is a lower high angle of this chart. So you could probably go down here and actually it's getting ready to break out of this. All right, so just a visual here, this would be a lower high, and the lower high would be more aggressive to the upside than this lower high is to here because the angle is more shallow. This is more steep. So technically, this is not a horrible target. 28 cents from current price. That is still almost a 20x. That might be a little low. That would be the lowest bull market target that I would suspect. I would like this target over here a lot better. $1.28, that is a coincidence that we got 28 cents and $1.28. And that would take us to the look left right there to this high, which makes perfect sense. So $1.28 is probably about as high as I would see this going. And that is an 85x from current price. And if you want to get really fancy, since we know that this is the master slope of the line, back from my time dealing with this during community live chats and all that, you can make a middle point here, which collides with some points of resistance, and you can make a middle ground area of 64 cents. So those would be my three bull market targets. I would not expect it to go above $1.28 in the bull market. And that's with the assumption there's a 4-year cycle. That might not be a safe assumption. All right, Z wants me to check out FET WIF. I just check these out for you, man. I just checked them out, didn't I? All right, let's do it. Okay. But maybe something's changed since, what was it? Friday. Yeah, it's been a couple days. All right. Okay, so the first thing I can see here is that this area, this is a pretty big move up without a daily high or low. However, if we zoom in to here to see how price respected this 1 quarter line, it actually looks like it's going to go higher before, and I'll show you. So we're going to zoom way in here, and you're going to see how beautiful on the micro time frames it bounced, and a closure / wick basis of bigger candles like the daily like we're on now. So let's zoom into this area. I have a feeling it's going to hit the bottom of the point of control or even try to tap all-time highs. This doesn't look done, and I can tell just by how it interacted with this 1 quarter line. So this is the 0 line, quarter line, half quart, 3/4 line top of it. So we're going to zoom way in here and look. look at the buyers here. The buyers really respected this. Even a red candle, it stayed well above this line. And the two candles that came down to touch this, they ended up green. So this is very likely. Now, is there a way that I'm wrong but kind of right? Yeah, if it puts in an aggressive higher low like this, which would be a very aggressive higher low, you come down and you touch this and then peak up, that might happen. So if that were to happen, that's a 12%, a 10 to 12% dip before then from current price going up another 45%. And again, depending on when it hits this rising line, the price is different. So somewhere between I would say $2.85 and $3 is when it would hit this this rising channel line. I don't think it's going to put in a higher low quite yet, but if it does, it's going to be an aggressive one to come up. Now, the way that could easily be wrong is if Bitcoin tanks here and it pulls it down. Then that's not going to happen, right? But I think I think it's looking pretty good, and I think it has more upside as long as Bitcoin permits it. It looks like it's going to want to hit that $2.80 to $3 region, or as high as $3.50 before it pulls back on a daily time scale. Now you'll get hourly 1 hour time frame higher highs or higher lows and pullbacks on the 1 hour, but a daily higher low, it looks like it wants to get more, and I could tell by the way it interacted with this blue line right here. It's simply statistically probable. Does it guarantee it? Absolutely not for new viewers. We think here in probabilities, similar to every time you drive a car, there is a certain statistical possibility that you get in a car accident. And so similar to how this interaction increased the chances that it goes up before a higher low, if you get drunk as shit, your chances of getting into a wreck increase. Does it guarantee that you're going to get in a wreck? No. If you get so drunk, for example, or messed up or whatever you do, and hopefully you don't drive doing this, but this is thinking in statistics, thinking in probabilities. If you get so messed up that it's a coin flip whether you get home safely or not, it's a 50-50 chance. That doesn't guarantee you're going to get in a car accident. So this doesn't guarantee it's going to go up, but it looks probable. It looks very, very probable that it's going to push up one more time. Let me double check, make sure the daily RSI looks good. See that beautiful, sexy daily RSI? It looks fantastic. Very, very bullish posturing. Look at the weekly RSI. Very nice looking. It definitely looks pretty bullish. All right, so that is those are my targets: 285 to 3, or as high as 350 before a daily pullback. WIF. I think WIF is a meme coin, and meme coins have done extraordinarily well during the Bitcoin sideways market of almost 300 days. Can't remember which chart of WIF I use. I guess it's this one. All right, so Z. So for all new viewers, something Z was able to do. And Z, if you're still on, like type down here, you verify what I'm about to say if you're still here. I assume you're still here. But I let him know when price was way back here. I said, hey, man. I told him, hey, price is down here in early November. I mentioned it might be wise to take half of your bag and right now put limit sells between here and there. So he successfully sold half of his bag and then got the opportunity to buy it at a 40% discount. And he did it. I don't know how much he sold. I don't know if it was a 50 bag, but he did say he sold there. It might have been 100. He might have sold all of it and bought it back. So that's, one of the things being a premier tier on YouTube or in the VIP tier on Discord. So that paid for itself. Like, depending on how much money he's slinging around with this, that would be a whole year's membership. All right, so WIF is looking pretty solid. And so in the community, we know that when we have an established rising channel and price goes above it significantly, you almost 100% of times come down to the middle of the channel. And I told him that before it did it. And guess what it did? Hit the middle of the channel. So we've been nailing this. All right, so Z definitely just made a comment down there verifying that I'm not full of crap. Yeah, so he's rocking and rolling. I think that this is probably going to, let me see here. I think this needs some sideways. So I think this needs a little bit of sideways before it goes again. I can see it tapping here, kind of accumulating and making a, so I will zoom in to make it clear. Boom. So I'm going to zoom in here. You can't tell what that was. Hold on. Let's zoom in. Boom. I think it needs sideways before it breaks out above this previous high of 485. And the way I see that happening is it kind of plays around in here, tries to hold strong on that horizontal, dips down, does something like this, has higher lows but not necessarily higher highs, accumulates, and then breaks out. I don't know how long of a time that is, but if that is before February, then that's probably what's going to happen. Something, as long as Bitcoin doesn't tank. So it's this or worse. Sideways, yeah, a month. That's only a month. That's pretty good. So I think it's got 30 days of sideways. Because I don't feel that it's challenged this area quite enough. There's not so take a look. Back up. How many coins have traded, or what has been the liquidity in this area? None. Almost 100% of all coins bought and sold were under this. So I think it needs to fill out some sideways to make that not true before it passes it. If that is incorrect and it goes up with a Bitcoin rally, then it's going to go above it and then land back on it, probably right along this middle channel line, and do the same thing again. However, because it's already done it once, it is not common for an asset to do that twice in a row, I'm telling you. It could be on the 5-minute chart. You can have a chart that looks just like this, and instead of this being, 267 days of time, this could be the 5-minute chart, and this is only like 4 days of time, and the rule is still the same. I honestly, I don't even remember a time where an asset, like on any time frame, has gone above a channel, hit where it's supposed to do, and did it again. So that's also why I'm seeing sideways. It's going to slow down. I'm pretty darn confident with that statement. But as long as Bitcoin permits, I think it's going to be a slideways / up. And that is, all right, Mr. Stark. Okay. Here we go. SAMO Solana's first meme coin. All right. Max supply of 4 billion. SAMO. Okay, let's take a look. Wow, this is a wild ride. Oh my goodness. So it's been out since the 64K top, and it did this during Bitcoin's rise to 69. That's interesting. That's quite a run for the second half. What is that, like 50x? Oh my gosh, that's 160x. What? Shit. All right, I need to look at the market cap of this. Really? Oh my gosh. It's still a small cap coin. Oh my goodness. Wow. What a run. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of money to move it above that all-time high. And they clearly weren't printing tons of it, so the circulating supply is close to the total supply. I don't think it's going to have any trouble getting back up to there. And to be quite frank, because this is making a rounded bottom, once it crosses 2.6 cents, it should attack that high on its first move or higher. However, it could have some problems around 2.6 cents. So let me show you some shapes it might take. So you're really kind of focusing on the very first wick back here, and then where it started dropping in around Christmas or December, late December of 2021. This box is going to be tough, and there are a few ways price can interact with it. So I'm going to draw you some price paths that I see as most likely. You could have just a standard cup with a handle, and the handle could come all the way back down to 1.2 cents, and then it creates some sideways and decides to go up like this. It would probably do it in a much quicker fashion. So let me do this a little. Let me mark off February. Probably have all that done before March. So standard cup and handle, but what's been happening recently with altcoins is they're just running straight cup, no handle. Watch, let me show you some examples. A lot of the coins that I'm in that I've 2 and 3x'd already, I had almost impeccable timing entering this run. I did not catch the 15.5 low. Don't get me wrong, newer folks who aren't in the private community. I did not. Even though I did call 16,400 as Bitcoin's bottom, I didn't take action. But I did enter on November 5th. I went from 0 to almost fully in, and things are doing really well. So this is one I got. Like, it's just straight up cup. Like, that's not really a great example, but let me show you another one. Ribbon. So this is making a straight cup, and there's no, there was no pullback at the neckline. It just races right through. Another one that I'm in is Tensor, another cup. Yep, so this is a straight cup type as well. Just running straight up. Look left here, but if you see it like this, its handle came back to that neckline. It used it as support. I'm not seeing a lot of pullbacks at the neckline to then get above. Most of them are going right through, ignoring it, or going above, landing on the neckline of the cups. So, and I would expect that SAMO? SAMO would likely perform the same way. So what it could do as well is it could take out this area here of 2.7 cents and come try to land on this area. That would make a lot of sense. It would make a little bit more sense if it actually if it got rejected about here. So if it does go to 0.41 cents without a daily higher low, another one, then it's probably going to pull back here. But if it keeps in putting nice daily higher lows, it will likely go past it. So here, it'll probably go past and land on it. But if it just shoots up, then it's probably going to stop at about 4 cents and then pull back to try to rest on the top of the neckline of this cup. So if it races straight up, it will likely pull back. If it puts in daily higher lows, it'll likely go above 4.1 cents and try to land in this area and fill out some liquidity. That is where I see this going. And after it does that, it's going to have to put in a little sideways, though, okay? Like, it's going to take a bit, and you might not have that second push until, like, April or May. So, I mean, you could see a 4 to 5x before April or May, but then you're going to have some sideways. And again, if Bitcoin goes down and doesn't continue its push, the analysis will change. However, Bitcoin is not showing a lot of signs of any downturn yet. It's really just showing signs of continuation, being statistically by far the most likely thing to happen. But if this does come down, you do have a lot of look left horizontals over here. I mean, you got this guy here, you got that wick down here, you got this wick up here. I mean, you got tons of space. So if Bitcoin does pull this down, you're essentially looking for higher low targets like this. And that would be a good 25% down. So let me zoom into this so you can see what I just did. Literally just connecting some lows here. And if Bitcoin pulls this down, it's probably going to the obvious place where people can see that this created a trend line. And if Bitcoin tanks, let's say 15%, this will likely go down 25. If Bitcoin goes down 25, then this is going below there. That would be a big correction on Bitcoin, but I don't see that happening quite yet. All right, that's what I see. That's how I see this moving. I think you're going to get a 4x max between now and April 1st, which isn't bad, but yeah, I think it needs to put some time in that black box. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go back to my Discord questions that I didn't answer, and that was the purpose of this stream, was to answer questions from there, while taking some time to answer some super chats. All right, let's see here. So we got standard two-part question. Okay, so Jay Crouch from Discord asked, what are the key ingredients for an alt season bull run? And then two, that's an easy one to answer. And then two, thoughts on selling Bitcoin, a small portion of Bitcoin now to fund alts? Those are both excellent questions, and I know what I'm going to say for both. So all right, so the key ingredients, there are only two, really. Well, yeah, it depends on how, but two main ones in charts. Fundamentally, it's really just two as well, but it's two. One thing is different. So, from a charting perspective, like things that you can see, the main ingredients are Bitcoin is going up, and it has passed its previous cycle all-time high. Altcoin season has not officially begun historically until that, and again this year, that's the same thing. Solana had a 15x, but that's not altcoin season. That's a layer one, the fifth biggest crypto, getting a lot of action, but that does not constitute an altcoin season. So Bitcoin having passed its previous all-time high, which has already been done, and the second thing that you would have to see is Bitcoin dominance goes dang like that. Actually, I did not know it took that out. Wow. Okay, so this looks like altcoin season's pretty official at this point. I did not. Yeah, that is a statement. Wow, my target is not going to be hit. Okay. So however, this is kind of concerning, and I'll show you why. But you need a daily time frame downtrend on Bitcoin dominance, which is what this is. Actually, it's still in a daily no trend, technically, because you don't have a lower high yet. There might be exceptions of this. If you take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you take out 6 daily higher lows, I think you can just say you're automatically in a downtrend, but I don't know if that's technically true. It's technically in a daily no trend, but I think it's pretty safe to say it's in a daily downtrend. So you have both now. We are in altcoin season. I did not realize it kept suffering. I saw it here, and I thought it might have been bouncing. Okay, so here's why this could be concerning, though. Check this out. Okay, watch. So for my community, take a look. Uh-oh, where is it? Oh, no. Where's my little notes for everybody? Maybe I hit it. Hold on. Well, son of a gun. I could have sworn that well, actually, not swear, but I know for a fact I had this on here. A note that, I guess I just remake it. I don't know how it disappeared. But, so this chart goes up in 2 ways and down only in 1 way. Up can go up during a BTC crash, or a BTC-led rally. Those are the two ways that Bitcoin dominance goes up. To go down, there's only one way. The only way that Bitcoin dominance goes down is when everything is up. And altcoins are outperforming BTC. That is the only way this chart goes down. Okay, so now, taking this idea, take a look at how big that drop was. What usually happens after you tank down? What happens? Which still bearish. How does this chart go up? This chart goes up in two ways. When Bitcoin leads a rally, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. So what's the easiest way for Bitcoin dominance to make a lower high on this around here? Is to crash. So this chart needs it will get. It's not a question of if. It is when and how. How high. When and how high. But it's usually right like this. I mean, look at this. High or low. Higher or lower high. Lower high. Like it's the same. This one is a little bit more aggressive. That slope's a little bit more aggressive. But lower highs happen in crypto at almost the same angle almost every time. It's roughly a 45-degree angle. And you can see that this breakout happened. If I extend this line, watch. Oop. Watch. If I go like this, and I take this angle, and I take this angle, and I put it here, this breakout probably happened at that, just like that. Watch. It might be the exact same angle, just to prove a point. Ta-da! So lower highs happen at almost the same angle every time in crypto. It's not always, but and that's when it accelerates up, when it passes it. I mean, it's just how it works. And Bitcoin's technically doing that right now, but on a lower scale, on a smaller scale. So anyway, this needs a lower high. Bitcoin dominant, so to get a lower high, you have to go up. There are two ways that this goes up. I don't know if Bitcoin's going to lead another rally over alts. I think every time Bitcoin goes up, alts are going to go up faster. So what this chart is saying is there is a crash getting ready to happen, and it's going to be a big one. I think it's going to be 30% or more based off this chart. And again, I did not realize this chart I didn't know it took out 6 daily higher lows. However, Bitcoin goes up to 110 or so. Cat, stay off of me. It could easily come hit this, it could easily come hit this 1 quarter. So here's the baseline, quarter line, half quarter, 3/4, top of the channel. It could come down a little bit more. All right, so everything goes up together. How does this go down? When everything's up together. So everything keeps going up because Bitcoin really looks like it's going to get some continuation, and then a crash. So this is actually, justifies what I did right before this stream. I saw a lot of my coins do 2x, 3x, and just being really aggressive all at the same time, and it seemed too easy. And this is my third bull market, and I know every time I get the feeling that it seems too easy, I need to sell. At least like a quarter of everything, just like skimming off the top. Let's see if you have 20 coins. For example, selling 25% of each one, just skimming it off, skim off the top. That's what I did. Some of them I sold all of it. A8 is one I bought at the bottom because I entered altcoins on November 5th. And I gave a community post that I went from 0% into 70% on that day. But I sold all of it. Even though I promised myself I wasn't going to sell. So look at this. Like, damn. So I bought this on November 5th. And I actually sold a little too early. But I bought right here. That's November 5th, right there. That's where I bought. Literally 2 candles away from the bottom. And I sold somewhere around like 17. So I got a 2.5x out of that. But I mean, it's gone up 4x. 300% is 4x. 100% is 2x. So I got all the way out of that, and I will buy it back on a confirmed higher low. But I'm going to wait for a Bitcoin dump. So I'm just holding cash on this one. I got completely out, and I'll buy back. Because it's probably going to have a 50% correction. However, it could go another 2x before a 50% correction. Actually, that's not 50. That's a 50% correction. Yep, see? 53. So I might end up buying it back where it is now if it goes up higher, but that's fine. I took my profits and I'm not going to feel bad about it. And I am ready for Bitcoin to pull back 30% because I would say I'm at least I'm at least 1/4 into cash, if not 30%. So anyway, the Bitcoin dominance chart is very scary looking because it only goes up in one way. Or no, it goes up in it only goes down in one way. It goes up in two ways, and one way I just don't think is going to happen. So it only leaves one way for that to make a lower high, I'm telling you. But it doesn't have to happen before Bitcoin hits like 120K. All right, so the second question was thoughts on selling BTC, a small portion to fund alts. Yes, okay, so this is somebody who has their portfolio split into BTC and some altcoins. So this part BTC, this part alts. He wants to take a little bit of this and make this bubble bigger. Yeah, I don't think that's a horrible idea. However, if I sold Bitcoin now, I would wait for a 20% correction or more before I made that purchase. So selling anytime soon or today or after 120K or 110K, 105K, sure. That's not the tricky part. Hell, a person could do it now and feel good about it. Because it's exceptionally likely during Bitcoin's next pullback, it will go below 100K. It's exceptionally likely, and Bitcoin's at 100K now, so you'd be able to buy back lower than what you're doing now, even if it goes up first. So I think that's pretty safe. But I don't know if it's safe to transfer it over to alts because Bitcoin dominance chart, I think it's safer to hold it flat. So, and I have three. Actually, no, I'm not playing Bitcoin in this bull market. So this is my portfolio. Flat money, just dollars. And then my alts. And so what I'm doing is I'm selling my alts and putting them into here. A portion of it. So yeah, I do think that's a pretty good game plan. However, I would be careful because Bitcoin dominance is screaming for a Bitcoin correction that is very fast. And that same month, it could be so fast that the month it dumps, let's say it happens this month, it could still be a green monthly candle because it only goes down for 2 weeks. And then it's a V-shaped correction. That happened in 2017 like 2 or 3 times. Let me show you an example. Check this out. I'll go to the monthly time frame. All right. So I think this is one right here. So July of 2017, it went down 37%, a 37% correction, and still closed green. So let's mark that bad boy off. And let's go to the daily chart so you can see how dirty it was. Watch, this might be what happens. If this flash crashes, I probably would not suggest trying to take advantage of it that day. It'll probably be 5 to 15 days long. All right. So if you see Bitcoin bleeding, you count to 5 days. It's probably going to be 5 or more days. All right. If you see a 10% down day, well, it's probably not done. Okay. Especially if that's day one. All right, so take a look at where the month started. That's July 1st right there. So price started here. It went down from its starting point, only 27%, but it went up a tiny bit first. Boom. And how many days did it go down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles. And it only took 1, 2, 3 days, 3 days of green to get back higher than where you started. This is a 32, or was it 33? This is a 3% dump, folks. Look, nope, it's a 30%. It's a 30% dump, and it corrected, it V-shaped up with 3 daily green candles. And it took 6 to get down there. And the month closed green. That's what I'm talking about. If we do get a flash crash, that's probably what's going to happen. But it's not going to happen on a single daily candle. All right, it's probably going to be 5 to 15 days long, and then V-shape back up in like 3 days, 3 to 6 days, right before the end of the year. And that would allow Bitcoin dominance to get its lower high and then continue going down in a downtrend. Damn it. Is the daily candle started yet? No. Okay, good. I'm safe. Whew. All right. I was going to say, this is an obvious long. I am doing a little bit of futures trading on one of my accounts, but I don't like to enter at the end of the day because the next daily candle just loves to dip down and then turn green if it's going to be green. So there are only 44 minutes left of this candle. As you can see right over there, 44 minutes. Right there. So I got plenty of time. I was going to say, I better end this stream and go hit some longs here. I got a long on Caspa right now. Long on Bitcoin. Yep, my Caspa long's doing very, very well. I'm taking profits at about 21 cents at this line, connected by these highs. Pretty easy. I thought about taking it all up to here, but man, I just think Bitcoin's going to correct before then. So, and that'll be roughly a 325% trade on 20x leverage. The first 2 times I tried it, I got stopped out. No. Yeah, the first 2 times I tried it, I got stopped out. The third time I tried it, I got stopped out in profit, roughly 50% profit, and this is my 4th time trying it. Okay. All right, let's keep answering questions. Big time. How high can this move go up? Well, it might be too late because that was asked 3 days ago, but we'll find out. Big time. How high can this move? Oh shit, it's on Coinbase. Wow. It looks like it started on MEXC though, got more price history, so I'm going to look at it where it has more price history. Yeah, this can go up pretty high because look, the U technically starts about here, maybe even here. This could go all the way to the top. I have seen a lot of coins do it, but I don't think we're in that part of the bull market yet, where you're just going to get a straight up 20x in 20 days. Okay, so take a look at this wick here. And the reason why all of this move tried to find support here is because of that wick. Literally, that is the only reason it stopped here, because of that wick. So let's mark that bad boy off. I will try to make it pretty exact with my magnet tool. There you go. Turn off my magnet tool. And so you can see what price is over there. It says 34567. Holy shit! I have never had that happen before. Is that right? 34567. Is that really true? It is. Holy fuck! I've never had done that before. Wow! And I've been doing this for like 4 years. Holy cow! That is the easiest thing to remember ever. So this move should go to 34567. As stupid as that sounds. That is the best analysis ever. What the hell? I can't believe. The chances are very low of that happening. What are the chances of that? So it's 10 to the 5th. I can't do it in my head that fast. Oh wait, no, yeah, I can. 1 in what was it? 1 in 5. Is that that's 10,000, right? Yeah, 10s are easy. What am I thinking? Yeah, no, it's 100,000. Son of a bitch. That's a 1 in 100,000 chance of happening. Because it's a combination, not a permutation, and you just multiply 10 by itself 5 times. Wow. Okay, that was cool. That was a 1 in 100,000 chance, literally. And I think that's correct statistics. I could be wrong, but all right. So I think that's a minimum, Because what it might want to do, like I said earlier, this cup shape, it looks like it starts here. So it might want to come up to that point and then try to land on this. And if Bitcoin does another rally, that could be what happens. However, if this takes off as Bitcoin goes sideways, then it's probably going to stop at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If this takes off as Bitcoin goes, it's probably going to almost double that at 62 cents. And then try to land on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It depends on when it goes up. All right. All right, what is my outlook on Ethereum? That is a good question. I think Ethereum's days are kind of done to be in the limelight. I think you're going to get drastically diminished returns on Ethereum, perhaps even more exaggeratingly than Bitcoin will provide, because the biggest players in Bitcoin, they have changed throughout this, at least from 2013, 2017 is the same players, miners and OGs. And then 2019, the bear market actually started changing hands. Institutions started getting more. OGs and miners became less relevant, but we're still among the biggest players. And in this, the 64K top, 69K top is still that same mixture of 2019, 2020. But now the biggest hands are obviously exchanges and hedge funds / BlackRock. Okay, Coinbase has more Bitcoin than BlackRock by a mile. So I think BlackRock is the 7th biggest holder of Bitcoin, and Coinbase is like number 2 or 3 after Satoshi. Maybe I think they just passed Satoshi. Somebody passed Satoshi in number of Bitcoins held, and it's not BlackRock, but it's probably an exchange. So exchanges are your new whales, not OGs. But anyway, with that, the biggest money, so the players have changed. That biggest money is not interested in F. I can already tell. Want me to show you why? Look. I might eat my words here, but on the macro, I did say that without being sure. I could be wrong. Hold on. Oh yeah, no, I was not wrong. All right, so, yeah, not wrong at all. Okay, what is this chart? This is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Want me to show you something bullish? That's bullish, but that's inverse. It is bearish. Big money is interested in Bitcoin, not Ethereum. Because their money would move Ethereum faster than it moves Bitcoin because of less liquidity. So even with that, Ethereum is losing versus Bitcoin, right? Like you can literally see the facts. Like you can see that what I said, is factual. Down. This is ETH versus Bitcoin. So big money is interested in Bitcoin, but then now you have so many layer ones that aren't just like Cardano, doesn't really have a true product. They're clearly not profitable, even though they do have some revenue at this point after 8 years, but definitely not profitable. I can't say definitely, but very likely not a profitable business. And stuff like Solana, even Tron. Tron is a profitable business. But Tron has been really impressive. I thought it was going to die like EOS. But yeah, it has not. Tron and Sui and Solana. You have a lot of, Sui's, those are all the other ones. Those are kind of stealing the show. You want to see Solana versus Bitcoin? I bet it doesn't look like this. I bet it looks like Ethereum's inverse chart. Like I bet it looks more like a cup with a handle, and it's pulling back in the handle now. I haven't looked at it, but I'm just guessing. Like I bet it's pulling back versus Bitcoin now on a weekly time base. Okay. Oh no, it's just going sideways. Oh my gosh. So you are in just a straight up cup, and then it isn't a handle. It's just a sideways handle. That's weird. You could definitely hold that and drink out of this cup, right? If it has water in it, right? Yeah, so cup, handle. I thought it'd be pulling back a little bit. Wow. That doesn't look like Ethereum. So like I'm telling you, the outlook on ETH is not great. Yes, it'll probably make new all-time highs, but I mean 10K, probably I don't see it happening. maybe 6 to 8K, maybe. But I don't see targets. So let's say it gets, let's say 4-year cycle happens, which is not a guarantee, but let's just say November, boom. And let's say, I know I have too many lines on this one, but it's because I've been dealing with this since it was younger. Let's say the whole bull market ends on this line where it meets, and it is a 4-year cycle. Oh, wow. It actually, well, the chart is definitely saying I'm going to be wrong on this. Huh. Interesting. That would be quite disappointing. All right. I need a quick second here. Hello? Hey, I'm working right now. Yeah, well, crypto. I'll call you back when I'm done. Okay, yeah, that wasn't your mom. That was my buddy. Here we go. Okay. My secretary brought my phone to me, thinking my wife was calling me. Okay. Yes, my wife's important, so you had to wait. All right. Wow, that this is definitely suggesting I'm going to eat my words there. What is this one? 10. Wow, it really is suggesting I'm going to eat my words. Huh. We'll see. I just don't see it happening. I can see 6 to 8. Yeah, I can see this one. So, interestingly, Ethereum is on pace to making me wrong because it is already above that line. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to stick to my guns. I don't see it getting past 6 to 8. I don't see the interest there. I don't think retail's going to buy the crap out of it. Because retail likes low price. Because Cardano at, $1, people think, wait, Cardano's $1, Ethereum's 5,000. I can't buy a whole Ethereum. I'll just buy a lot of Cardano, and it can get to 5,000 too, right? People don't like the high dollar values because they don't understand what market cap and coin circulation is. And they're like, wow, this is a cheap, Cardano's cheap. It's only $3. Like, literally, that's what these people are doing as they throw their money at crypto because their friends made a lot of money and retail floods in. And so I don't even think retail is going to want to push it. We already saw factually that the biggest players in crypto right now are more interested in Bitcoin, not really pushing Ethereum. There's a lot of saturation. Wow, I'm actually going with my fundamental analysis over chart. This is a first. That's also a 1 in 100,000 chance. My paying members would know this. I don't think I've ever. No, I did do it with Glimmer. Yep, and it has served me very well. Because I bought the bottom of Glimmer on November 5th as well. As a redemption for totally being a dork during the Bitcoin bottom. Once I hit my target of 16,400, I got even more bearish. I just should have stuck to my guns. So I'm going to stick to my guns here too. Yep, that's my thoughts on Ethereum. 1 in 100,000 chance that Tim goes with this fundamental analysis over chart analysis, because I almost always choose charting analysis over fundamental, but I flip-flop there. All right. Check out Bob token on KuCoin. It's buying price, bull market targets. Also, okay. Well, no, I thought maybe Ross, I already did those. You asked me those during the live chat. So BIGTIME, VELO, I already did BIGTIME. I didn't finish BIGTIME, did I? Did I finish BIGTIME? I finished it. Yeah, I already finished BIGTIME. So 2 people asked for in VELO. Okay. Don't I have this saved already? Or I have Vera saved, not VELO. Yeah. I'm going to look at it on MEXC because there's going to be more price history. Ooh, this is a good shape. Ooh. If Bitcoin goes up, this is going to rocket. It's probably going to hit here. Wow, that could be a big move. Let me measure. That could be really big. Oh, that's an 11. It's 10.5x. That one looks pretty juicy. What was the question? VELO bull run. Oh, you wanted a bull run target. Wow, this is a great. This is literally among the most bullish things that you could possibly see in crypto. So if you're new here and you see this, look at this shape. This is among the most bullish things you can ever see. Is when you get small consecutive green candles that crescendo. That means you're getting ready to do something massive. Usually. Can it break down? Absolutely. But specifically small, steady candles that begin to crescendo in a U fashion, like a swoop. This is very, very, this means there's only intent to buy, and it's getting ready to flip sellers into buyers, and it's going to go nuts. Where does this trade? I'm actually going to potentially, I'm going to consider a swing trade on that depending on where it trades. Yeah, that's a hot setup. A very, very good set. I might try that on futures if it trades on futures. Like, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer setup. Oh, it is. Yes, it does trade where I trade. Ha! But I gotta turn on my VPN and that'll turn off the stream. All right, I got 30 minutes before I gotta. So VELO, interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, this looks great. And again, if Bitcoin pulls back here, which I don't think it will, but if it does, it will ruin that rally. Bull market target. So how far did this came out at the 64K top? It went down 99.99%. So it technically cannot make a higher high. I mean, yeah, it shouldn't. So something obvious here. It might take this out. Oh, it's there now. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so this is a little tricky. Whenever you have one of these deals happen and something pokes through, so this is for new viewers, you're going to like this. Watch. Go like this because you don't know which one is at the real point of acceleration. You want to you need a box. It's called a rotate. What is it called? A rotated rectangle. Like that. Now it's touching both. All right. See that? Zoom way in there. That's how you do it. All right. And oh, wow. It did touch the top. Okay. Interesting. That kind of scares me, actually. That's a pretty big resistance point. But it will accelerate really hard if it gets... Yeah, I think this is worth a try. Because the reward's going to be so big, I think it's worth the increased risk that it is it's hitting resistance. But look, I mean, it's been accumulating just under resistance for, I don't know, it could be like 3 months. I don't know. Let's measure. It's been accumulating under resistance. Oh, shit. Longer than that. More than 6 months. That's 230 days. Wow. Yeah, it looks like it's going to break above. It looks like it's going to get a big one. All right, so I would expect a lower high. I just don't see any way that this is possible. Because if it hit this price again with the amount of tokens it has, so if it hit $2.13 again, it has... So market cap equals circulating supply times price. All right? So the market cap, if it hit $2.13, and it doesn't print anymore. If it prints more, it's going to be even bigger and harder to get there. 3.9. Oh. It would be a $15.7 billion market cap, which would mean it would not just be on page 1 of CoinMarketCap, it would be in the top 20, and right now it's number 333. So can this pass 300 cryptos? Very, 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 very unlikely. Very unlikely. I don't think it can get there. It went down 99.9%. That means it printed tokens and they sold it to you. It's just not going to get back up there. At least not in the first bull run it has. However, it could do something phenomenal and like hit that wick where, see how it there. It could hit there and there. So let's go ahead and make, this would be my bull market target right there. 80 cents exactly. Wow. All right. And from current price, that would be about a 30x. There you go. All right. And from another question from my Discord that I didn't get to. Time bull markets. Okay. And again, for newer viewers or folks not in the community, this is the type of stuff we do on Discord. But folks are talking to me. Most people don't use their cameras, turn on their cameras, but I do. And we share. Sometimes folks they say, "Hey, look at my screen. I'm going to share it. This is my idea." And then I critique it or whatever, give my thoughts. But that's how we roll over there. And again, folks leave if they can't make the live stream or the live chat. It's not a live stream; it's a chat because people talk directly to me. But if folks can't make it, they will use one of my Discord channels called Cryptillion Live Questions or VIP Live Questions, and they'll throw their questions there, and I timestamp it for them so they can watch it at their own rate and go directly to it. Now I can't remember what the hell the question was that I'm getting ready to answer. Maybe I didn't look for it yet, did I? Okay. I thought I saw time. Or was that prime? No, it was time. All right, time bull markets, please. Bull targets, sorry. All right, time's another one that I bought dang near the bottom on November 5th. I'm only going to buy more on higher lows. I'm not going to sell this until I think Bitcoin's topped. It's just my game plan. Some of them I am selling, but this one I'm just going to be stubborn. I'm going to hold for a bit. I'm not going to try to accumulate with other people's money on this one. But well, almost all coins are minted. So they didn't print going down. So it can't easily get back up. It went down. It did not go down 99%. Went down 97.54 to go down 99.9% from there. Watch. All right, let me mark this off like this. Watch how much farther it is. Now watch. Take that. Oh. Watch. See how much farther down 99.9% is than just 97.5%? Let's just do 99.7%. Now watch. Now we go back to where we were. So you see the difference? That's why the other ones that went down 99.9%, they're not going to make a higher high. They're just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And if it does, it's 1 in a million chance. So 97 to go down 97.5% and then go down 99.7%, that is you have to go down 87, you got to go down 88% more after 97.5 to hit an original 99.7. Like 99 point something is way farther down than 97. As you just saw, it's another 90% drop. All right. So because of that, if you saw the other me saying, "Hey, this can't make a new high" and all that good stuff. Uh-oh. Great, it crashed on me. Awesome. Hold up. All right. My screen went white. I think I'm back. make sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm back. Okay. Things just went. Oh, wow. On the replay, it almost looks like there was no interruption, but on my end, there definitely was. So time bull market. So that is why I can more confidently say on this asset that it probably will make new highs or will probably at least double top because it didn't go down that far and it didn't print a bunch of tokens. So I think a double top is a great option. What's even more common is when you make this U-shape, and I'll show you a coin that did this. I got a 36x out of this coin I'm going to show you that did what I'm about. Yeah, like it went, like, look, it just went boom and did about a 2x above previous. That's more than 2x, sorry. It just made a W shape, 2x above, went like this, lower high, and then crashed. And I did a 36x in 40 days on that coin. It was amazing. I think it was my best. And that's not just how high it got before I sold. That's where I sold. At 36x exactly. And so this shape can happen. And if it does happen, and I'll show it to you in a second. I think this will do this. I think it's going to 2 to 3x on top of that, and then do a lower high and be done. So a 2 to 3x on top of that is about $1,000 to $1,500. I need that there. And the coin that did that I think this might emulate. Yeah, this was my best buy and sell. I don't remember how much I had in it to begin with. So I made this capitulation box on that flash crash there on November of 2021 because people got pissed at me that I didn't call a flash crash. So I let them know, when MTV gets down here, I told you so. You can't say I didn't warn you. And you could watch that video. Like, I mean, it's still out there. I don't delete my good videos or the ones I'm wrong either. Or the ones when I used to drink. I probably was drunk. Like, had more than half drunk on them. Anyway, 2.5 years sober now. So yeah, this chart has history. I mean, it's important to know that I made this box back here before anybody could even conceive. Like, how did I know it was a bear market? I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing maybe just because they got pissed I didn't call a flash crash. Yeah, so that date was around, so the video would have been around late November, early December of 2021 is when I made that video. People were pissed. Anyway, so let's go here. And let's get that out of here. Let's get this out of here. And let's... Okay, what was the one I was looking at? Time. Well, hell, that one did it too. That's exactly what I'm talking about, a W shape. I sold too early on A8. Damn it. It's always a bummer. That's why you don't 100 bag. Oh, well. Always another trade. And I think I put that some of that in QI. It looks like it's going to pop. Just a heads up. So zoom out here. Maybe to the 5-day chart. Yeah, there you go. So take a look at this. All right, so take a look at time. Now take a look at MTV. Time. MTV. Okay, kind of similar. Now watch. Wait, I thought I was counting this as the high. Yeah, because that was opening price. That didn't. Yeah, I counted this as the high. I think it did a 2x above this box. That's the 69K top on Bitcoin, and it's over. All right. So this was the all-time high because this was like ICO stuff, and it wasn't real price. All right. Look, what's that? That's a 2.2x on top of all-time. Like, yeah, it's exactly. That's how I think time's gonna go. But it could be a 3x because the 3x is barely different in this whole shape. So you saw it like grinding and like all the work it did. Well, watch. If it just went like that instead, just a tiny bit difference, watch. I bet that's 3x and not 2x. That's a 4x. 300% is 4x. See how just barely different it is? Honestly, so time could 2 to 4x. It could 4x. $2,000 time is actually possible because yeah, it's just structurally to do a 2x on top versus a 3 and 4x on top. It's almost identical. And that's when all retail people are here and they're buying crypto on credit cards and throwing money at crypto, not even knowing what market cap means. And I mean, thinking Cardano's a cheap hot alt at $5 if it gets that high. I mean, that's what retail, that's the last bit of it, you know? So I guess it could hit 2,000, like 2,200 for a true. I think a 4x on top of here might be closer to a little bit higher than that. Hold on. What did I say? That'd be, yeah, 2,250. Yep. And so this is technically my bull target that people have asked. I think it's going to be 1,150 and 1,800. And there you go. So I gave you something on the chart, but also just thinking of math and how stuff moves. It could just barely, it could do what's called a failure pattern above its entry price because it's super common for cryptos to do that. And if it did, that would be up to 2,250. All right. I don't think it's going to do much better than that though. But anyway, let's measure. What would that be from here? Yeah, I mean that's a 60x. That's a 70x. So I don't think it'll do much better than I think 2,250 is an aggressive target, pretty aggressive, and I think 1,000 to 1,500 is like if we have a normal bull market, it will statistically be probable to get there. If it's a normal bull market, that is a 4-year cycle. Bitcoin goes up during the 4-year cycle. There is an altcoin season. If all those are true, which is not guaranteed to have an altcoin season that lasts past March. It's not guaranteed, even though it has happened every time. But I'm telling you, it's not freaking guaranteed. Bitcoin has moved so differently this cycle. It's broken so many rules. This is a great. There are so many good reasons why Bitcoin, this will be the first non-4-year cycle. It just moves differently. It's a different animal, I'm telling you. However, I'm still going towards the idea that it will be a 4-year cycle because it has been every time. But I think both are justifiable. I'm not going to lie. That's why in my private community, I remind everybody quite a bit about that. I preface things. If there's a normal bull market and if altcoins go up with Bitcoin, it's not just a Bitcoin only bull market, which could happen. All right, here we go. All right, Harrison, I think you asked me those already. I remember doing OORT, uh, and I don't think I got to AGI though. Okay, so yeah, I remember which ones I chose. AGI, you want a bull target. Okay. I already got it marked. Yeah, I must have already done this. So that lower target from current price is a 25x, and the top one's about a 52x, which means hopefully this is like in the top 500. Hopefully. Hopefully it's not like number 900, because then I could be wrong pretty easily. What was it? AGI? Yeah, this should be on page. This should be in the top 2 to 500 cryptos based off of that. So it's 300. And I can tell just by, I can just, because if my chart shows something and it's only that amount, I can just tell the market cap in my head. So folks in the community are completely used to me doing that. And I'll guess all the time, like, hey, I think the way this moves, I bet it's between 150 million and 250 million market cap. And I'm pretty sure I think my guesses are accurate or within the range I provide way more than half the time. So I can just tell by the way the animal moves how big it is, if that makes sense. Like if you hear a dog bark, you can tell how big it is roughly. Right? I think that's a pretty good analogy. At least a decent one. And that's what I do in the charts. Okay, Jambo, I know I covered Prime, right? I did not. Okay. Jambo, what was he looking? He just wants a general idea. Okay. Very interesting. So this went up during Bitcoin sideways ish time. It did a 23x. And what it did was it pulled back on the weekly time frame below. It really smashed through this higher low here. That's not good. But then you did kind of make up for it for boom, nailing a higher low, boom, nailing a higher low, and a higher high, establishing an uptrend on this candle here. On that candle, you were then in a weekly uptrend because you have a confirmed higher high and a higher. Well, no, it was maybe after this candle. That is a higher low and a. Technically, it was on this closure. I apologize. I was wrong. It was in a weekly uptrend at this point, but then it continued and just showed off to make another higher low and another higher high. It looks like it's going to attack its high. So for new viewers, check out what I'm about to do. Watch this. Hopefully I don't fumble it. I usually do this right, like really fast, but hopefully I don't mess up. Now that I have non-community members doing this. All right. Come on, where are you? Oh, I can't see it. Now I can see it. Okay. I'm trying to get what I call the true slope. And again, this takes a lot of practice, and I have tutorials on how to do this. But in general, I can tell that this is the master slope of this chart, and it should hold true for years because that's where you crashed. That's where you did you bounced. That's where you bounced. That's where you bounced. That's where you bounced. You got rejected. You got rejected. Your first bounce. So this is the master slope of the whole chart. And now what I can do is I don't know if that's the exact middle. It's usually close. Now this will give you prescription goggles. What I want is the bottom of this to touch here and the top of this to touch there at the same exact time. I'm going to be close. Close. right there. Okay, and then this will allow us to get a better idea of what we're looking at here. Essentially, what I'm doing for you, if you're not in the community, you're watching me do this right now, just check this out. It'll look so much easier to guess where this is going next. Watch. Again, what I am doing is I am giving you prescription goggles or prescription glasses to see price. And how I've been doing this so long, I know how to work a chart. I'm a chart whore. I know how to work a chart. I'm a price whore. All right. There we go. And so I did not align this with that. I promise you I did not do that. And I did not align this line with that one and that one and that one. I did not. What I did was I created equidistance between here and here and here and here. And what happens? It freaking magically lines up literally 99% of the time. It's probably more like 95%, but it's in the 90s, if not high 90s, that this works. And just going for equidistance. That's the way I mess this up sometimes. If my point of control is a little wrong, which it might be wrong. No, that looks about right, actually. Yeah. All right. So Prime, do you think it can hit the, All right. So now I'm going to teach you how to extend a line. Damn it. You're getting a lot of good stuff here. So if I have to extend all this, because I made it, you got to keep the exact, you cannot eyeball this stuff without a ruler or the guide here. Like, don't just try to like reach it. No, because it moves. See that? Like, it does not keep its slope or its angle. All right, so now what we can do here is to create a bull market target. Just mark off a 4-year cycle if it's a 4-year cycle and say, hey, if it bumps its head on the top of the point of control at that time in a parabolic move, it'll be $463 from current price. That is a 33x, 34, almost 34x. Seems pretty reasonable. So a 33x would be, this would be an extremely reasonable target if this were like number between 200 and 400 on CoinMarketCap. If it's lower than that, then I might need to consider higher targets because smaller market caps move faster and harder. It takes less money to make them move. It's like blowing on a golf ball versus blowing on a feather, right? The big cap is the golf ball. You can still push it with wind, but it's harder. All right. So, what was I doing? Oh yeah, Prime. Is it between 200 and 400, for example? It's bigger. So that might be too high. Okay, that would be about as high as I see it going. That is a real target. It's just a little high. Its market cap's going to be pretty big at that point. So if it's at $463 and it has circulating supply, so market cap equals circulating supply times price. What did I say? 463 times hundreds, thousands, 16.5 billion, which would mean it would probably be on page 1 of CoinMarketCap, if not in the top 50. So can this pass and do better than 120 cryptos during a bull market? It has to pass about 120 cryptos, outperform them, most of which are on page 1 of CoinMarketCap. It's got to outperform. Will it do that? That's a tough target. Right, that's why I think this is a little bit more appropriate. $300, I think that's a good target. Call it a day there. All right. This actually looks very similar to Bitcoin, and it's super. If Bitcoin were like $14 here, and it came to 69K top, and it came down to 15.5, and it crossed here at like 20,000. Bitcoin is doing the same thing on its 1 quarter line, but going back to like 2011. Very interesting. Yeah, it looks pretty similar. Shorter term, I think you're going to want to challenge this. So it's going to bump its head 1 or 2 more times and then try to take off. I think it wants symmetry. Actually, hold on. Symmetry. This one's not symmetric. Damn it. It's got 2. Let's see here. So let's just go like, I think maybe here. It does need to go, yeah, I think 1 or 2 more times, and then it'll be not very symmetric, but it'll be even on both sides. Like this cup will just, it'll be balanced. And if Bitcoin pulls back hard, this has got great support. That's probably a good 40%. See that? 45. So if Bitcoin has a flash crash, this is probably going to that line, right? And the only question is, how much sideways can it do before it hits there? Will it aggressively pull back in it down low? Or will it pull back, do one of these numbers, and just go pop, pop, and pop it right here at 1074? Or 10 and 3/4. Or does it get down there in one swoop with a flash crash? So same target, different price, because it could move there differently. The animal could slither, the snake could slither there in different ways. But I still think that would be the target either way. If there is a flash crash, all right, I think that this would want to hit that in some way. And if it doesn't hit it immediately, that means it's probably going to get stuck in lower highs and then touch it sideways. Okay. Yep. One more bump. Then it's going to then it's going to go after $24. Accelerate, go up to potentially 50. Ouch! Ow! This cat just jumped on me and that hurt like hell. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Ginger cats, at least the male ones, which is 90% of red cat or orange cats, but yeah, they purr. They're quick to purr and very affectionate, usually. All right. Oh, but that hurt like crazy. Man, I gotta cut his nails. Let's avoid that. I'm probably bleeding on my back. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't. I don't think I screamed in the microphone or yelled. I really get, ah! Did I do that? Okay. Where was I? Prime. Yep, I think that's so this would be the neckline here. One more bump goes after it, but perhaps past it as high as 50, then tries to land and use this as support. So acceleration point close to here, and that would this would be the challenge. It could also get rejected from there around $20, but if it breaks above, it should go to 50, then try to land on this rising channel line here. That's how I see it moving. And if it drops, you already know where it's going. All right. So we got a super chat here. Zilliqa 2.0 launching. Did I miss others? Oh, shit, I did. Okay, well, let's, the dude. All right, and esports. All right, here we go. All right, esports, and then I'll do the dude. Zilliqa 2.0 launching, end of year, biggest 2.0 in history. let's go check it out. Good, it's past all those, so no more of that. Okay, so here is a 4-year cycle. That's what that represents. If this happens to hit the top of this channel, which I want to inform you is pretty unlikely. There are not many coins that do that, but it is a pretty good target. It's a decent target for a very high. This would be very aggressive. $2. Again, like I said, that's very aggressive. To the upside, unlikely to happen, but from current price, that would be a 57x, 57.5x. Before when it was hovering below this channel, which clearly was a good time to buy, from that point, holy shit, that's over 150x. Wow. It is possible, though. Cardano, from its wick low to its wick high, only because it suffered a 90... Oh shit, did I forget the number? 98, was it 99? I think it was 98.8%. And Cardano went really low in its first bear market, and it climbed out and did 135x, mostly because it underperformed in the bear market. It stretched down lower, therefore the ROI going to a normal height was more than Ethereum, for example. So yeah, wow, 150. So that's a very aggressive. That would be even more than Cardano. Makes it kind of unlikely. But if you said the biggest one in history, $2 is your target. It's extremely aggressive, but it could happen. All right, 4-year cycle. This one, 84 cents, much more likely from current. Let's say a nice higher low, and this has gotten pretty out, like a higher low down here. From a higher low, it's a 32x. From current price, that's only a 24x from current price. That second target is a 24x from current price. Those would be my targets. Yeah, I think it should hit that line. Usually, cryptos like to hit this line the first bull market, that line the next, that line the next, and it just keeps. It's diminishing returns essentially. So yeah, that is a good target, 85 cents, and that is if Bitcoin has a 4-year cycle, and if altcoins follow normally. Those are two big ifs. Right? And those targets, my hand's disappearing. Those targets over there depend on both of those happening. Please hear what I said. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Please, please, please. Okay. All right. Can I do a dive on ZCX on KuCoin? ZCX. I just suffered from acute dyslexia, but now it's gone. Seeing those letters backwards. It's probably because my edibles are kicking in. All right, ZCX. Okay, I can tell this is the correct chart to use with the most price history, or at least full price history, because of that wick here. Oh, am I hiding it? Am I covering it? Because of this wick here. That only happens when it is first listed. All right, so this off first hand, when did it come out? It came out just before the 69K top. 69K top happened about here. 64K top happened back here, so it came between the peaks. It came between the peaks. It came out between the two peaks. That was a slip. I didn't say that on purpose. It was funny though. But it looks like it could just straight up do a W, like honestly. And if I don't know the market cap, I haven't measured down, but just structurally, it looks like that's what this is going to do. Because it hasn't raced up to all-time high, so therefore, really, its best bet as long as this isn't too far down, which it probably isn't. I think it looks like a 98%, 98.5% is my guess. But I need to measure to make sure I'm not wrong. But as long as it's like 98-ish or less, then it's probably going to do a double top or a 2 to 3x on top, something like that. And if this is a smaller cap than what I'm thinking, if this happens to be like a 20 million cap coin, I might extend that to a like a 2 to 5x on top of this high. So that's a 2x right here. Boom. Okay. And let's measure down. Hopefully this is 98% or less. It is not. It didn't look like 99.5. Remember, 99.5 is way lower than 98. Way lower. And if you didn't see that the first time, like if you go down 97% to 99, you have to go down 90% more to get to 99.8. Right? From 97.5, you have to then drop from that point almost 90% to get a total drop from the original 99.8. All right. So, damn it, this did drop farther than I thought. I would say boom, boom, boom. Those are my three guesses. Yeah, I think you're looking at horizontals here. Just bam, bam. I don't think you're going to make new highs. You went down too low. So let's get rid of that. Oh, this is a big line here, though. Let's make this red. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe. Hello? There you are. Oh, nope. Wrong one. There we go. Those three white ones. $1.90, $3.80. So that would be super aggressive. $7.25 from current price. That would be a 38x, which means this is, if I type this in, this is probably between 250 and 450 on coin market cap. What was it? ZCX? Between 250 and 450? Hopefully. Yep. Oh, 466. Close enough. It's number 466. But yeah, I would say this one's too low. This could do a 2x. Let's see here. I think it is possible to hit $14. But I would say 14 is like the really aggressive target. That's highly unlikely, and this would have to greatly outperform its peers in crypto. It would jump from page 5 of CoinMarketCap all the way to like bottom of page 2. This would outperform probably 200 to 300 cryptos in order to hit $14. Unlikely, but if it's a great success story like Phantom was, which had perhaps the biggest bull run on an ROI basis, percentage basis, than everything, even more than Hex. And R had big one too. Telcoin had a very big bull market. Yeah, Phantom blew them all out of the water. But so it could be a success story, but a success story would mean about $14. It'd be a pretty big market cap by then. Really big market cap. All right, I think I got all those. I'm about worn out. I might not get through all the Discord questions. Oh yeah, I will. I think I'm at the end. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. If you have time, trade on. Trade on Polygon. Trade on. Oh shit, Bitcoin's. Wait, how is it down? Did the last couple minutes of Bitcoin before the daily? It did go up right at the daily. Oh, sweet. Good, because I'm in longs right now. Awesome. Yeah, because once you pass this line, you're statistically probable to pass your look left high. And I took on longs after it used that as support. Sweet. All right. And that happened at the candle closure. That was badass. Good. All right. Matic. But again, even if this is going to be a green day, it pulls back at first. That's why I was waiting for now, actually. Waiting for that day. Now, I might want to get out. Probably need to end the stream pretty soon and start getting in my positions. Or a position. I'm already in 2 positions, technically, but I want to be in like 2 or 3 more. All right. What am I doing next? Prime, we already did. Matic, where are you, Matic? What? Did I get rid of Matic because it was getting beat up so bad? It's Matic that looked like dog shit. Matic does look bad. Like, this just looks horrible. I don't know. This looks bad. I wouldn't piss around with this. There's so much better opportunity out there. Like, this is a dog. There's just so much resistance here. Yeah, it's still in its downward channel. I mean, this is bad, bad news. Yeah, this is not good. Like, what? Equidistance. And make sure this is correct. Where should the point of control be? That? No, that's too thick. That's what she said. Right there. What makes sense? This makes sense. Okay, now go for equidistance. About there. Got your support. Support. Ooh, went above. Try to slide on it. Not super clean hits. That's a super clean hit. That's not. It's a fairly clean chart. I would give this one like a 5 out of 10. It's usually price hits a little bit more cleanly on these. Yeah, I don't think that this can race up out of this channel without getting a nasty pullback. So if this wants to race up to that high, you're gonna get a bad pullback because this is going down and it's gonna have to come touch it, and it would need to touch it fast because the longer it took, the lower it's got to go. It doesn't have permission to accelerate up to $1.60 without severe consequences. I know how channels work. You are working off of a lower low from the previous low, and if you blast above it off of a lower low on the weekly, you're going to touch that line. Like, you just do. That's simply how crypto moves. I am extremely confident with that statement, and that is if it blasts up to $1.50 plus. I am confident that it would come down and touch that line, and people would probably be coming on here and saying, "Oh, you said that about it. It's not going to happen." And then, well, it takes like a month and a half to happen, maybe like 3 months, not 4 days. Like, it's back up to, no, it takes about 100 days to happen. All right, after a big move like that. So what you want to happen here, okay, if you are a Matic fan, what you want this to do is to barely get above it and then dribble, 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 dribble until you hit a very sexy look left horizontal like this one, and then go. That's what you want this to do. You don't want this to fly yet, I'm telling you. You want to see that. All right, that's Matic. And a rejection here is perfectly acceptable too. Like Bitcoin just barely pops up to 105K and this just gets rejected and then Bitcoin pulls back. This could have a nice big pullback. Look, that's a nice 45-degree angle. This pullback on here, it could be. That looks like it's going to be 40% or 45. Watch. I mean, that's a big pullback into a higher low. That's a bullish pullback into a higher low. On the daily, a 50% drawback. Damn. So watch out. A rejection here is a perfectly fine analysis as well, and I bet it's the top among the top two, between the top two most likely. I think the top two most likely are a rejection here and then barely get above dribble, dribble, dribble. Oh no. Oh, it's now pull. Well, fuck. All right. Then why is it on there? Oh, maybe it just goes back in time. Wait, no, December of 2020. Well, then what the hell is this? Then what am I looking at? It's now pull. So what is Matic? 69 cents. 69 cents. It's the same price. It's the same chart, man. Yeah. It's the same damn thing. They just preserve the price. Yeah, you can look at it on Matic. It is the same thing. Yeah, so all what I said is valid. I believe so. Okay. Yeah, you need to look at the full story. You can't just look at, oh, we rebranded our token so you can't see all this. I can see this. And so can people who have money. You can see the chart. Rebranding, I think VeChain was among the first cryptos to do that. They went mainnet or rebranded their token, and what happened? All the exchanges erased its entire bear market. And then more and more coins started doing the same. Rebranding their token, now people can't see that it crashed 99%. So they're smart to do it. I would follow suit as well. Okay. Even though it's probably not their story. But all right, I'm going to do MUSE and then I'm out of here. Do I have this one saved? I did. I see it. And I had this line here before that happened, by the way. And I bought on November 5th. I haven't sold any, though. I don't think I'm going to until I think Bitcoin's done. But it's already 5x'd, and now it's at a 2.5x, 2.6x. Yeah, wow, November 5th really is near the bottom, isn't it? Holy fuck. That's November 5th. Technically not the bottom. It's the bottom of the first higher low. How about that? Not bad. Which is way better than having bought here, unless you did sell. It would have only been better to have bought here than here if you became a seller. Because there's no point in buying here and at the same price and having your money locked for 450 days when you can do something else with your money. All right. And not have it at risk for 450 days. That's going to be a tough line. That's going to be a tough line. That might be the bull market line. Oh, that's why I have this here. 4-year cycle, mark it off like that. No. Nope, that's not why. Only $115 from current price. Yeah, I'll do more than that. Okay, it'll accelerate above that line then. Interesting. Yeah, this angle is better. Right there, because you get support, resistance, support, resistance. All right, so this is the master angle of this chart. So it'll just magically start aligning like tops to tops, bottoms to bottom. See this? So bottom to top. It just is magical. Like this is the master slope of this chart, by the way. So if you want to copy what I just did because you're in this coin, you might want to try to make it pretty similar. And again, what I just did takes like probably years of practice and messing around and doing it wrong, and more importantly, takes practice thinking you've done it right, and you have money on the line. Then you're like, it didn't work, and then you realize, oh shit, I did it wrong. Yeah, those were the days. Trial and error, but I've done it a lot, and I've had money on the line to make these right. So not just practice in the charts, but practice with money in these too. Good. So see how this wick here got it almost perfectly equidistant? I like it when that happens. I like equidistance. Okay, I don't know how I got to these numbers, but they straddle what my target would have been. And I have a target of about 870 or so. Or no, it is that. It is 850. Okay, that is the target. And then in the middle is this one. Oh, because I went like, interesting. Huh. Yeah, that actually, I don't know how I got that target last time, but I do agree with that. I think on the higher end too, as long as it's a normal bull market. And how much over its previous high would that be? So if it's like a 10x above, then I'm going to say, this might not happen. Yeah, that's only a 5.2x on top of its previous all-time high, and this is a small cap. So yeah, those are my targets, and those are very realistic. And it's actually, I would say it's probable that price does end its bull market between those two numbers. If and only if, so it won't be probable unless the two things happen. Bitcoin has a 4-year cycle and altcoins follow as they have normally in the past. If those two things happen, then I think it's probable its bull market target lands between those two. But only one of those two things might be true. You could have a Bitcoin-led primarily bull market where altcoins start fluttering out early, which would be awesome. Not for me, but it would be awesome as a Bitcoin maxi. And you could also have a bull run that's really sexy. Altcoins are flying up, but it's all over in March or April. So not a 4-year cycle. Both of those things have to be true for my statement to be valid. All right, let me go. I am worn out. How long? Hey, Ottoman. Hey Otto, I'm doing pretty well, man. I am quite I'm exhausted right now. So I'm gonna get off of here. I've answered all the questions on Discord, and I will smell y'all later. Take it easy.